Welcome and welcome to Titli's Busy Kitchen with me, Titli. Now some of you will have seen the title of this video and thought, this is one of Titli's joke videos, right? Wrong. You see, bread and butter pudding is as familiar to us Brits as pumpkin pie is to Americans. So for this gloriously British pudding, I've got 10 slices of white stale bread. It's important that it's stale, otherwise your pudding will end up too soggy. And nobody likes a soggy pudding. 325 mils of milk, 100 mils of double cream or thick cream, 50 grams of sultanas or currants or raisins, 2 tablespoons of sugar, a tablespoon of brown sugar just to sprinkle on the top, the grated zest of a lemon, a teaspoon of vanilla flavouring. Here there's 75 grams or so of softened butter. There's a quarter of a teaspoon of cinnamon and a quarter of a teaspoon of nutmeg and 3 eggs. I'm just going to start by taking the crusts off the loaf. You can leave them on if you wish, but it's just my personal preference. Any bread will do for this as long as it's stale, even raisin breads. Butter each slice on one side, then cut into triangles. Now take a lightly buttered baking dish, square or oblong, but it needs to hold at least 2 pints, and arrange half of the bread slices on the bottom. Doesn't matter if they overlap a bit. There we are. You could break the bits up as well if you like. Now sprinkle on half the sultanas or currants or raisins or whatever you're using. Sprinkle on half the cinnamon and half the nutmeg. Then pop on the rest of the bread in another layer. Sprinkle on the remaining raisins and the remaining cinnamon and nutmeg. Good! Now we're ready for phase 2. Put the eggs in a bowl with the sugar, the lemon zest and the vanilla flavouring. Then beat well. You're going to need to beat this for about 2 to 3 minutes. Now put the milk and the cream in a small pan and heat it gently with stirring, but do not boil it. Once the milk gets to a temperature where you can just about put your finger in it, pour it slowly with whisking onto the eggs. And then you'll have a nice custard. Now pour the custard carefully over your bread and butter. Just poke the bits of bread down a bit, make sure that they're in contact with the liquid. Now we'll just leave this for 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, sprinkle with the brown sugar, and then we're going to bake this at 180 degrees C for about 35 minutes. As it comes out the oven, it's all big and puffed up. Now leave it to cool for 20 minutes. As it cools, it collapses, so now you can serve it up. Serve in slices, either on its own or with a little bit of cream. When we Brits make a pudding, we don't need jello or a pie crust, and don't ever call it a dessert. Join me next time in Titli's Busy Kitchen with me, Titli. Until next time, Khuda Hafiz. Khuda